Tesla Model 3 Project Highland progress continues in Fremont. January 31, 2023. The Tesla Model 3 is arguably due for an upgrade. And it seems Tesla has been working on it for some time now. The US EV maker doesn't typically share info about upcoming model refreshes or projects that are underway. But it's reportedly in the midst of preparing an updated Model 3 under the codename Project Highland. The Model 3 was the best-selling EV in the US for a time and one of the top-selling electric cars in the world. When the more family-friendly Model Y came along, Tesla CEO Elon Musk said it would eventually be the brand's best-selling car and a top seller across the globe. He was right. And it's arguably time to get folks just as interested in the Model 3 yet again. While Tesla hasn't made any official announcements, various Model 3 vehicles have been spotted out testing. And they appear to be associated with a redesign of sorts. It seems Tesla is working to strip down the electric sedan, reduce costs, simplify its interior, and upgrade cabin technology. Some people suggest that the updated model, the 3rd of May, also come with a lower price tag. Though it's hard to put a finger on pricing right now with Tesla's many recent changes. Tesla and Musk did reveal during the recent Q4 2022 earnings conference call that there are new products in the pipeline. Though they remained quiet about details. The Semi has arrived, the Cybertruck is coming soon. And it seems the Roadster will arrive sooner rather than later. So there aren't a whole lot of other possibilities at this point. Tesla could be referring to a smaller, cheaper electric compact car or hatchback, as well as Project Highland. According to a recent article published by Tesla RT, Tesla is continuing to work on installing new assembly lines for the upcoming Model 3 as part of Project Highland. Filings show that the automaker has been working on the project for nearly 2 years already, and is now moving beyond the stage of demolition related to the current Model 3 production lines. The publication writes that Tesla started tearing down existing Model 3 hang-on lines late last year. And now it has completed the demolition. Public filings reveal that now Tesla has moved on to installing the revamped manufacturing lines. Based on details in the filings, the company recently applied for revisions to some areas of the line. Tesla has an Investor Day event planned for March 1, 2023, which Musk announced not long ago. During the recent earnings call, the company said that it plans to discuss its upcoming next-generation platform during the event. It's not yet clear if the future platform also applies to the Project Highland Model 3. So perhaps we'll get more information related to the revamped electric sedan at the event as well. Source: reposted and summarized from Stephen Loveday at InsideEVS.com. My take: I am looking forward to see all the Model 3 upgrades. Tesla takes customers from rivals while industry struggles at retention. January 31, 2023. A recent report published by Automotive News draws attention to 8 automotive brands that are struggling to retain customers. Car shoppers, sometimes referred to as nomads, tend to leave brands such as Acura, Audi, Dodge, GMC, Mazda, Mercedes-Benz, Ram, and Volkswagen after one purchase more often than other automakers. Meanwhile, Tesla is the taker of rivals' customers. And it tends to keep them. The details in the article come from a study put together by S&P Global Mobility. It breaks automotive brands into different categories to show how their customers either remain loyal to or leave the brands. One primary goal of any automaker is to gain customers and keep them. Associate Director of Consulting for S&P Global Erin Gomez explains. Brands that fail to transform nomads into loyalists not only lose out on the immediate sale to the nomad but also the future loyalty benefit they could have provided as loyalists. This is the reason for conquest incentives, which offer a special deal to customers who buy or lease a vehicle from a new brand. Loyalty incentives are also at work, which provide promotions to people returning to buy or lease another vehicle from the current brand. Interestingly, in the industry as a whole, automotive brands are struggling more and more to keep their customers. In fact, Automotive News mentions that a decade-high 58% of car shoppers left their automotive brand between August 2021 and July 2022. Of course, there were many factors at play here, including a global pandemic, price gouging, and a lack of inventory. But the trend is still worth mentioning. BMW, Hyundai, Jeep, Kia, Subaru, and Tesla currently do the best job at turning nomads into loyal customers. Though the US EV maker is ahead of the pack. In fact, According to S&P Global Mobility, Tesla has kept a whopping 83% of its first-time owners. And it has the lowest number of customers who buy once and then leave the brand for another. Source: reposted and summarized from Stephen Loveday at InsideEVS.com. My take: legacy auto companies deserve to lose all their customers to Tesla. Tesla Supercharger network in Australia now open to non-Tesla EVs, January 31, 2023. Tesla has launched its non-Tesla Supercharger pilot program in Australia. With the program in place, owners of compatible electric vehicles can take advantage of Tesla's well-received rapid charging network. Tesla announced the program's launch in Australia through a post on its official Twitter account. As per the electric vehicle maker, select superchargers in Australia are now open to all EVs. The company also noted on its support page that the program's pilot in Australia is currently limited to drivers who reside in the country. Tesla launched its non-Tesla Supercharger program in November 2021. And since then, the company has steadily expanded the initiative to several countries worldwide. According to the company, the Open Supercharger program is part of Tesla's efforts to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Select superchargers in Australia are now open to all electric vehicles. Tesla charging. January 31, 2023. Non-Tesla owners in Australia who wish to access the Supercharger network are advised to download the official Tesla app and make sure that the application is on version 4.2.3 or higher. Tesla also highlights that the pilot program is only accessible for CCS-enabled vehicles. At least for now. The company explained the rationale behind this restriction in the following statement. This pilot is only accessible for CCS-enabled vehicles. If a supercharger post has two cables, non-Tesla cars can only charge with the CCS connector. Tesla is unable to accommodate vehicles that do not fully comply with CCS communication and safety protocols. Tesla wrote in the program's support page. Tesla drivers who reside in areas where the non-Tesla Supercharger pilot is ongoing need not worry, as their vehicles still receive special perks for using the system. As per the company, non-Tesla owners pay a higher price for supercharging, and they also have to use the Tesla app to initiate the charging process. In comparison, Tesla owners benefit from a fully seamless charging experience, and their supercharging rates are lower. Source: reposted and summarized from Maria Morano at TeslaRT.com. My take: Elon is taking their money and using it to make even more supercharger stations. Tesla revamp strategy to get ahead on 2023 production and deliveries. January 31, 2023. As you may know, Tesla opened 2023 with massive price cuts, and it's reportedly selling a ton of cars in the first quarter, which goes against what the EV maker has done in Q1 for many years now. However, if Tesla can crank out cars early in the year and get them all delivered, it may not have to push so ridiculously hard as the year goes on. Though it likely will regardless. Nearly every year, it seems Tesla has a limited number of deliveries in Q1 compared to subsequent quarters, which isn't uncommon among automakers. This was especially true when people were banking on the US federal tax credit, and buying at the end of the year meant getting their tax credit much sooner. However, after the holidays, right in the middle of winter, it's just not typically the best season for car sales. With that said, for years, Tesla has arguably fallen behind each quarter, and then worked to make up for it at the end. The same has appeared to be true for each year as a whole. For one reason or another, Tesla may not quite meet guidance in some quarters, but then it tries to pull out every stop to drive production and deliveries up before the year comes to a close. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has said a few times in the recent past that the company needs to get away from these ridiculous end-of-quarter and end-of-year delivery waves. He reasoned that it shouldn't really matter if a car arrives in an owner's driveway in the final week of December or the early days of January, as long as the car was produced and it's about to be delivered. If you follow the space, you know that it does matter, at least to investors and Wall Street. In general, if Tesla doesn't meet delivery guidance, it doesn't seem to matter what the reasons are. Perhaps the automaker should have planned better and set more realistic goals. Or perhaps adjusted its guidance down after a rough quarter. At any rate, Tesla is seemingly having the strongest Q1 ever, and it may just make the year as a whole slightly less stressful. If Tesla is able to set major records with deliveries for Q1 2023, A few hiccups going forward may not matter so much. Moreover, as the year goes on, its factories will continue to see upgrades. And its newest factories will continue to ramp up production. Source: reposted and summarized from Stephen Loveday at InsideEVS.com. My take: Tesla's new price cuts could be the beginning of the end of the big legacy auto companies.